Okay? And at that moment, I knew my life had changed forever. Hello, how you doing? Yes. Can we all just stand up really quick because we've been sitting for a minute? Can we all stand up, move our legs around? I am Tina, otherwise...
Meet Tina, stars Tina Wilson, a beacon of hope and transformation for women over 40. As a licensed life and health coach, Tina specializes in empowering those who have faced life's toughest challenges.
The edge of their seat. So when someone says, Tina, how did you do? I'm going to say, I had them at the edge of their seat.
Drawing from her personal triumphs over tragedy, Tina guides women on a transformative journey. Her unique approach is grounded in the 5 pillars of transformation: mindset, heart set, nutrition, fitness, and resilience. Tina's mind, body, and soul awakening program isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. Through her online fitness boutique studio, she merges physical well-being with emotional growth. As an international motivational speaker, Tina's voice resonates across continents. She inspires and educates through her podcast, her dynamic presence on platforms like Clubhouse and Toastmasters International, and her compelling storytelling. Celebrating her latest achievement, the publication of her first book, No More Traumedy, Tina continues to leave a lasting mark in the art of transformation.
I said I need to make a book for anyone who's had some type of trauma or tragedy, because there's no playlist. People don't like to talk about it. Remember, I was with my coach and I'm like, well, this person's got a cool thing. They do motivation. They do finances. I talk about traumedies. That's not cute. He's like, Tina, you make traumedies look good.
Yeah. Stars Tina Wilson, transforming lives by overcoming one traumedy at a time.
If you can get
this. Yes, I did it. Yay. Good morning, Chris. So we are live. We are live here over there on Instagram. They're like a little peek in the corner. But my peeps over here on not Clubhouse. I miss my Clubhouse piece. Over here on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I am Tina. Happy, happy, happy day to you and also you. Today, I'm coming through with a pop-up live. If you know me, you know I'm that person that's going to take you from good to great to amazing when it comes to your health and wellness. Yes. As you know, we're coming across the end of the year. We literally have about 6 more weeks left in the year. And during the end of the year, the holidays start to come up, right? You got Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Kwanzaa, New Year's Eve, all these things. You may have birthdays, you may have anniversaries. And it's a time where a lot of people want to get fit. They want to get healthy. They want to look sexy. They want to feel good. And that's what I do, right? That's my main jam, is all about looking good, feeling good when it comes to exercise and eating clean, right? But a lot of you don't know the main reason for me diving so hard into health and wellness, especially exercise, is because of pain that I have in my heart. And very briefly, and if you want the big story, you can go to my YouTube channel, but I'm so passionate about fitness is because at 49, my father passed away from a massive heart attack. That was one of the traumedies that I went through in my life. A traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. Everybody goes through these. And I believe that God has gifted me with these so that I could be prepared for the biggest traumedy of my life, which was the murder of my 21-year-old son, Jamal Molly Gaines. And I put a smile when I say his name because he was a beautiful soul. And I had the honor of being around a bunch of other moms like myself, and I call us warrior moms. About 8 years ago, maybe 7 or 8, I was invited to Trayvon Martin's mother does an event called Circle of Mothers, Sabrina Fulton. She does this event in Florida. Myself, my daughter, and my mom went, and it was only for mothers who have lost a child. And let me tell you, we are a different breed, right? I always say God's never going to put you through something you can't get through, or all those little sayings. And I got to meet so many amazing women, but one woman, actually, we're still connecting. She has an amazing foundation, and she really focuses and specializes in forgiveness. I don't know about you, but forgiveness is a hard thing, especially for someone whose child has been murdered. And in a nutshell, my son was 21, a very successful business owner. He had two sneaker stores and he was actually thriving, right? And one Friday night, someone came through and he was murdered, and he is no longer here. We still don't know who did it. But today's episode is all about hope for the holidays. And this is an event that I started during COVID because my son was an organ donor. And if you didn't know, an organ donor is someone who is alive and they say, you know what? When I die, I want to give my organs over to science or give my organs over to help other people. And the day after my son's murder, I got a phone call from the Sharing Network. And they said, your son was an organ donor, is an organ donor. And they had to ask me all these questions. And I literally was on the phone with them for 2 hours. And they were so loving and they were so kind. And every year during the holidays, they would give us a special gift, but they put an event together called Hope for the Holidays. Because as a parent, a mother, a sister, a brother, losing a loved one is very, very challenging during the holidays. You may be used to them sitting at the certain spot at the table or cutting the turkey. So they taught us different things that we could do to regulate our nervous system during the holidays so we weren't angry or mad or crying or stuck in a corner or stuck in a bedroom, not associating with everyone. And during COVID, we were stuck in. So I decided to do a virtual Hope for the Holidays. And I invited a few people. And today we're celebrating, well, we're not celebrating, we're doing one this weekend. So I'm going to bring her up to the stage right now. We have Jill Henderson. And Jill is, she goes through the same feelings that I do. Jill, thank you so much for rolling through this morning and this Saturday. And we realize it's not about us, guys, right? God gave us this. I'm not even gonna say God, but we had the situation to teach others that you can get through it. So Jill, in a nutshell, if they want if you want all the information, come through this Saturday. Contact us. We'll give you the link. I'm not doing a whole landing page and all that stuff I normally do because I tend to do the most, right? If you want to be there, contact us. We'll give you the link. It's a free event because we want to help you. So, Jill, if you could please just share your story and your book, because forgiveness is hard, right? I'm going to throw it over to you, Jill.
Well, good morning, and thank you, Tina, for inviting me to your space and for inviting me to do Hope for the Holidays with you again. It's always a tough season for us, but also a joy to share with other people. So, in a nutshell, my story actually started with my bonus son in 2007. Um, Darian was a very loving, kind young man, 26 years old, always trying to take care of other people, and was tragically shot in his neighborhood with a single gunshot and transitioned. So we never got a resolution to that. The case is still, it's a cold case, it's unsolved. So we kind of navigated through life trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to do next? How do we get through this? Black people weren't doing therapy at that time. So we decided to lean on our community, our church home, our family and friends, and just kind of navigate through ourselves as we typically do as a community. So as life was starting to put things back together, 10 years later, our middle child, our middle son, Bakari, was a recent graduate of the University of Arizona, where he attended on a full academic scholarship. Went over to Greece in order to get some photos and video footage for his clothing line he was launching as a recent graduate, and was waiting on a couple of friends in a Serbian club. And unfortunately, a Serbian woman, took a selfie with him And I say unfortunately because you would think that's not a big deal, but because he's a black man, the Serbians wanted to know why did she take a photo, a selfie with a black man? And so a fight ensued, and then they chased him down and beat him to death. So we as a family felt like this was a wake up call because we're like, okay, not only have we lost one of our four children, now we've lost two. And so I had to dig deep and really figure out, okay, God, what is it that you're trying to say to us? What are you doing and how are you trying to get our attention? So we went to Phil and I, my husband, went to therapy and I went first. He didn't go willingly. It took him a while to get on board. And we just decided to go a different route. And through therapy and dealing with other families, we decided to launch the Bakari Foundation and to continue his legacy through his clothing line, Bakari Luxury Sportswear. So 10% of those proceeds go to the foundation, but the foundation takes families who've lost loved ones to homicide on a healing retreat. And we take licensed therapists with us and do a lot of hard work, but we also do a lot of fun bonding things to get families to reconnect with one another. And we do entrepreneurship and financial literacy for underserved youth as well. And through all of that, I just continued to listen to God, and that's where the book was birthed. And the book was a long process on forgiveness because I truthfully was not ready to forgive and didn't feel like I really struggled enough with forgiveness to write a whole book about it. But lo and behold, as God started speaking to me, just things would pop back into my memory about things that I truly needed to forgive that I had not. And so it's a 40-day journey to forgiveness. And it's 13 other contributors also in the book that talk about their forgiveness journeys.
Wow, wow, wow. Can we see the book? Do you have one with you? And how can we purchase
I actually do.
it?
This is the book. And you can purchase it two ways. If you want a signed copy, jillhenderson.com, which is the way to get a signed copy. Otherwise, it's also on Amazon.
I love it. I love it. So, Jill, I love how both of us have transformed over the years because I remember the first maybe 2, maybe 3 years, I didn't know her first son was murdered. Can you share? Has it gotten easier over the years to share your story? Because I know a lot of people, they tell me all the time, and you may hear this, well, I have a story I want to share, but then when they start sharing it, they start crying and crying. Can you talk about your transformation over the past 8 years since you're in 8 year nine?
Right, right. So I would say that I'm more comfortable sharing it. I'm not going to say it's easier, but I'm more comfortable because I know that I need to say Darren and Bakari's names because they deserve that, because they deserve to still be here. But I also know by sharing my story, it helps other people to open up about theirs. And one of the ways to heal, as you know, is to continue to get that out into the open and to get it out of our spirits so that we can continue to grow and move forward. So,
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. So as Jill said, she decided to continue her son's legacy of the Bakari Foundation, where she does his clothing line. And Jill, I thought about that. I didn't think about it. I started it like when it first happened. I was like, okay, I'm going to keep the sneaker store going. And my daughter and I, we went to the store and I was trying, girl. I was trying to sell some sneakers. I didn't know what I was doing. My daughter was running around the store. They got another location at the mall. We're still just like, I'm like, I don't know. But I wanted to let his life live on, but I didn't think
Mhm.
it was anything. And I say that to say for anyone who's lost a loved one or who wants to give tribute to the loved one, make sure it aligns with you and your soul, right?
Mhm.
How did you connect Bakari's dream and love to your current life? Because do you do it full time? Is it like, tell us about that.
So that's interesting because at first I was not doing it full time. And he thankfully already had his website up and had designs and all that stuff, and actually had he did something that none of the kids did, even though I told all of them to do, was to write, to journal, to take notes, and always keep things, written. Thank God he did, because we never got his phone back, and you know how people like to just keep everything in their phone. And so he had a whole blueprint, and thank God we're able to follow his blueprint. He had places to call for manufacturing. I mean, just everything.
Oh,
And so
really?
that was a godsend, because Tina, I too did not know what to do. And so I was like, okay, but Phil and I mean, we go to trade shows, we do all the things to try to get ourselves as knowledgeable as we can contain in our brains, I'll say, because there's so much to know. But so anyway, I say that to say we were doing it full time at first. Then I got a full time job. And so it became equal duties. And so I would do the clothesline, the foundation, and my job. Then I got laid off with COVID. So then that was full time again for almost 3 years. And then I got another job for 2 years. And I just recently got laid off again, and I'm not even I'm just like, my manager was like, "Well, we're gonna have to let you go, Cuts," and I was like, "Well, you know what? God makes a way." I'm like, "Seems like when times get tough, God's like, okay, it's time for you to move in another direction." I said, "So I am not concerned." So I am full time again, and have been just trying to spend time daily between the two, and other things, of course, but just block out, this is how much time I'm going to spend on each activity so that I can get focused and organized.
I love it. I love it. I don't know if you know, I opened a studio. I'm here in Tampa, Florida, and I would love to have some of the Bakari line here, and I could spread it to different
Mm,
locations that I know here as well. So on the back end, if you could, because he has athletic wear, correct?
correct.
Yes, and
Yes, ma'am.
let me tell you guys, Jill is definitely luxury. She puts together a banquet, she puts together a retreat for her people, and it is definitely high quality, high luxury. It's absolutely beautiful. Can you share how you came up with the concept? Which came first, the banquet or the retreat idea? Which one?
So the retreat came first. So we were thinking about doing a foundation, and we just had a big birthday celebration the first year after his passing. And as we were preparing for that, so maybe I will say maybe the event, because as we were preparing for that, I said, this is probably something we should try to do annually. And then we filed the paperwork for his LLC for his clothing line, because that was on his to-do list when he got back from Greece. And I went ahead and filed the paperwork for the foundation as well. So we were talking to one of his good friends, who he had kindergarten, and he asked if he could help us come up with the concept, because I knew I wanted it to be something related to things Bakari loved to do and related to families impacted by homicide. And so had a brother who had been a part of Make the Wish Foundation, because he had cancer. And so he's cancer free now, thank God. But anyway, they did get their wish. And so we kind of modeled it after that. That's how it started, was Make a Wish. And we were just going to do one family starting out, but then decided, you know what? It's really hard for that family to figure out, first of all, where do they want to go? When do they want to go? What type of experience will they have? How are you going to report back to let us know that you've done some healing components? So we ended up switching the model because COVID hit. So, COVID had some bad things, but it had some good things for us. So it made me pause, and we had to rect, and we decided, you know what, we're going to do everything so that families who've been traumatized already don't have to think about anything. You just have to get your passport. And if you need help getting your passport, we can help with that too. And we wanted it to be an experience, like you said, Tina, something that you would remember for a lifetime, but also that your family can actually make new memories with. So that's kind of how we started.
I love that. And to let you guys know, my family, we were able to go on the very first one you did. Again, life
Mhm.
changing. We all actually got tattoos. So I think Pura Vida is the tattoo. I think we all got it. Your son, I think your daughter got it. Oh, I don't think your daughter got it.
No.
No.
No. So
Well,
when they say all, when she says all, not everybody, but a large group of people did.
yes. Well, no, I meant my family went to the retreat, but
Oh, yes.
yeah,
No, no,
my
no. When you say, yeah, when you were talking about the tattoo, I was like, wait, because I'm scary and I did not get a tattoo. But anyway,
oh my gosh, I have to tell you guys, this retreat, oh my gosh. First of all, Jill, it taught me how Costa Rica and America is so different. In Costa Rica, everyone
Mhm,
has one job. They have one job and then they go home. That's it. We're
mhm,
here in America, we're just working, working, working. And the way, in my eyes, because everyone sees things differently, and I'm curious how you saw the first retreat, Jill, and then how it is now. But for me, the mornings we would have our therapy sessions where you're crying, screaming, yelling, feelings horrible, and then in the afternoon we had fun, whether it was zip lining
mhm,
or the cacao, not the cacao, Lord Jesus, the coffee, going to
mhm,
coffee. So it was
mhm,
amazing, right? For you, has it
mhm.
changed much since then, and are you still doing it? That's another question.
Yeah, no, it really hasn't changed much. It's still the same format. We took away the horseback riding because, of course, as you recall, that was a long day experience, a muddy experience, and um, we
What about
decided that,
the
you know what,
mountain?
that's
What
just
about
too
going
hard.
up that mountain that
Oh, we
forever?
still do that. Like that is really transformational
That
for
was
people. So
Jill, let me tell you about that. I've done a lot
yeah.
of hiking, a lot of hills. I don't know where it was, guys, but I was worried about people. I'm like, are they gonna, because I was struggling. So that was hard.
Yes, it is very it's a challenge and it's good because it challenges people to realize, you know what, as one of our participants said, you're starting at the bottom and working your way up to the top. And that's kind of how grief is. You're at the very bottom and you have to like struggle to get yourself to you can do it.
I love it. I love it. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about hope for the holidays for anyone who's going through some type of grief. If they've lost a loved one, maybe it could be from 1 year ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Grief is grief, is grief, is grief. And this Saturday, we're putting together, it's virtual, it's also in person. So if you're in Tampa, make sure you contact me again. I'm not doing a fancy landing page. Ain't nobody got time for that. I have other things to do. But we do want to invite you in this event. We're going to teach you skills, tools, and strategies that you can use to get through the holidays, and it not be that challenging. Jill has her book that she'll have for sale. And again, you can direct message her or me. I can get you her book. We're going to be doing more collaborations. Jill, if you can leave us with a little outro of forgiveness, something from your book, maybe. I don't know if you want to swirl through the pages and pop something up while she's looking for her little outro. I'm going to do a quick little plug for my book, which is No More Traumedy. In this book, I share a little bit of my story and how I got through my major traumedy, which was the murder of my son. At the end of the book, I give you as well the things that I did to get through my trauma, like yoga, therapy, making beads, all sorts of things. So you can purchase this book on Amazon, or like Jill said, if you want a signed copy, come directly to me. With that being said, I'm throwing it over to you, Jill, so you can give us a little blurb from your book and something on forgiveness.
All right. So two quick little notes. So there's actually notes
Oh, I
also
love
that are in the book. Be brave and forgive all who have hurt you so that you will be free to laugh and heal. And then another note was just because we feel hurt doesn't mean we have to add to the chaos by returning the
Say
hurt.
that one again. I like that one. Good.
Just because we feel hurt doesn't mean we have to add to the chaos by returning the hurt. So, and our hearts cannot be filled with bitterness and love at the same time. So I just want to say that. So we have to remember that if you're holding on to unforgiveness, then you are holding on to a bitter heart. So love isn't able to occupy that same space. So you just can't love well at all. So this is the book again, bigger, and it's at jillhenderson.com or on
I
Amazon.
love it. I love how you said the heart can't hold on to love and bitterness at the same time. That I know that, but it just hit for the first time today. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, do you want a bitter heart? And when you have a bitter heart, your whole body feels it, right? The body forth. That's
Yes.
why I do, if you don't know, Jill, I do something called yoga trauma informed yoga. I taught a class this
Oh,
morning, and it's like therapy. We go to therapy once a week or once a month, and this class is great to have once a week to just release these feelings from your body. And it's just amazing. Thank you so much, Jill. Again, if you're watching this, hello, Dr. Delator. Oh, that's Dr. Dale. Dr. Dale. Hey, Dr. Dale. One of my favorite speakers is Dr. Delatoro, and I saw doctor. I was like, anyway, yes, if you're interested, we're here in Tampa. We're doing it live and virtual this Saturday at 12 o'clock. With that